Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Ringside Wrestling Entertainment. This is Joel Perez here for your Monday Night Raw review, your official Monday Night Raw review for the date of March 26th, 2018. We're talking everything that happened on Monday Night Raw here tonight, and what can I tell you about a Monday Night Raw 2 weeks before WrestleMania 34 in 2018. Let me stress, 2018, that is being main evented by John Cena and Kane. Now, is this the main event to a Monday Night Raw in 2008, or is this a main event to Monday Night Raw in 2018? I'll let you guys decide upon that. But quite frankly, what do you think my opinion about this Monday Night Raw is going to be with a main event like that? Nothing good. Nothing good whatsoever. And we didn't see anything 2 weeks before the biggest show of the year. Something WWE has no problem bragging about. But 2 weeks before the biggest show of the year, we get this? That is a big question mark in my book. And realistically, I don't even know where the hell WWE is coming from with the show like this. Nothing. I mean, nothing, can I tell you, was progressed going into WrestleMania here tonight. Everything just remained the same. WWE has officially entered that land of being on cruise control until WrestleMania. And I know with next week being the go-home show, it's not necessarily going to be the same case. But, I mean, here tonight, what the hell happened? It was like a huge buffer on the road to WrestleMania. We seen what we seen last week. Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns. What happened there? Brock Lesnar beat up Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns walked out in the same exact fashion, despite his suspension being lifted, that he walked out last week. Him and Brock Lesnar brawled. He got his ass kicked once again. Only difference this week, there were steel steps and a chair involved. Oh, Lord. What a difference. There was a steel chair involved last week, so the only difference is a steel steps. My God. What a difference. John Cena comes out and calls out The Undertaker with the same promo that he's been cutting for the past 3 weeks. The Undertaker still hasn't come out. Only difference this week is that he was going against Kane, which is not a pleasure to me, and it's not a pleasure to you. Matt Hardy was announced for the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. My God, I am so excited. 1 week he goes from the Ultimate Deletion, which was very enjoyable, to announcing that he's in a pre-show Battle Royal for WrestleMania. What a step down for Matt Hardy. Best thing about the show was a brawl backstage between Sasha Banks and Bayley. What happens there? I mean, it was great. It was great. They finally turned against each other, but what's it leading to? A women's battle royal. Not even a singles match, not a championship match like it should have been for the Raw Women's Championship. It's leading to a women's battle royal. Oh, I'm so excited for that. Nia Jax and Alexa Bliss. Nothing has progressed there. The Intercontinental Championship feud, Miz TV with The Miz, Seth Rollins, and Finn Balor. I haven't seen that one 3 or 2 weeks ago or whenever the hell it was. I didn't see that already. Teasing the breakup of the Miz Taraj. Where's that gonna get you? Who cares about the Miz Taraj? Who cares if they break up? Braun Strowman versus Sheamus. Last week we saw Braun Strowman versus Cesaro. What's the difference? It was pretty much the same exact match. One member of the bar tries to cause interference. It doesn't work. We still don't know who Braun Strowman's partner is. So there's pretty much no build to that. It's only Braun Strowman versus the bar. It's not Braun Strowman and his partner versus the bar. So I'm still thinking that WWE is going to have Braun Strowman go at it alone. So that's what we're looking at on Monday Night Raw. Oh, let me not forget, Silly me, right? Silly me. I almost forgot. We saw Rhino versus Elias here tonight. That's a blockbuster match heading into your biggest show of the year. Oh, wait, not really. Oh, silly me, I almost forgot. We saw the Miztourage versus the Club here tonight. Oh my god, how can I forget about that one? That's a main event worthy matchup on Monday Night Raw going into your biggest show of the year. That's progressing storylines going into the biggest show of the year. Not really. To top that off, Asuka versus the Jobber, which literally went 2 minutes. You have the Cruiserweight division, alright. What they're doing on 205 Live does not even resemble what they did here tonight with Mustafa Ali and Cedric Alexander versus TJP and Drew Gulak. It went, 4 minutes? And there's no tension, literally no tension between Alexander and Ali. It's like Nakamura and Styles on Smackdown. Who cares? But except it's the Cruiserweights. It's the Cruiserweights. So what are you doing on Monday Night Raw to cause any interest for WrestleMania? This show was abysmal. Abysmal. We saw Absolution come out and try to intimidate Ronda Rousey, asking Ronda Rousey to join Absolution. Yeah, Ronda Rousey is not brain dead. She knows that Absolution is full of failures and clowns. And she showed us exactly why they're failures and clowns. She got rid of them so easily it was not even funny. We'll discuss all this in detail, but realistically, I can just end the Monday Night Raw review right here. But of course, I gotta go into detail because, it wouldn't be a Monday Night Raw review without it. But this show, 2 weeks before WrestleMania, and it's absolutely terrible. I cannot tell you that I am invested in any program going into WrestleMania right now on Monday Night Raw. A program that I would have been invested in Sasha and Bayley, not even on the card. Nia and Alexa is pre-show garbage. Asuka versus Charlotte is on Smackdown, and you're clearly not doing anything too amazing to build towards that. The Intercontinental Championship feud is mediocre and generic and basic at best. Cena versus Taker is going to be built on the go-home show in 1 week after having Cena cut the same goddamn promo 3 weeks straight and go against Kane. Strowman versus The Bar. They're not even going to reveal his partner if he's even going to have one again until next week, the go-home show. Why are you saving everything till last minute? Huge error on that accord. You have Rousey, McMahon, Angle, and Triple H. Whatever. It's not going to be the most amazing matchup in the world by any means, but I guess it's interesting, and you already know how I feel about Reigns and Lesnar. Nothing going on there except the shoving of a Roman Reigns initiative down our throats. So that's what we're looking at going into WrestleMania on Monday Night Raw. I'm sorry, but SmackDown Live, despite their television being god-awful most weeks, except for last week, clearly because of the return of Daniel Bryan, but SmackDown Live is looking a lot better off as far as WrestleMania goes. You got Daniel Bryan and Shane McMahon versus Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. You got a SmackDown Live Tag Team Championship match between the New Day, the Usos, and the Bludgeon Brothers probably, which is not going to be a bad affair whatsoever. You got AJ Styles versus Shinsuke Nakamura. That speaks for itself. You got Charlotte versus Asuka. Speaks for itself. And the only slouch on SmackDown Live that you realistically have is that United States Championship feud, which looks absolutely abysmal between Mahal, Orton, and Mahal, Orton, and Rude. So that's what you got going on SmackDown Live. Doesn't look too shabby besides that United States Championship match. Everything on Raw seems to be undecided, and WWE seems, with this week, to have buffered the momentum of most of their matches going into WrestleMania, and it is absolutely ridiculous. Those are my thoughts on the show. Did not enjoy it whatsoever. Another 3-hour snooze fest, and quite frankly, I'm holding a show like this to a higher esteem because we are 2 weeks before WrestleMania. The pressure is on, and you did nothing to excite me at all here tonight. Where last week WWE television was doing a lot to excite me, this week was like, alright, we gotta cool it down, because last week may have been a little bit too exciting. We can't give you too much. They give you an inch, they take away a foot. That's how WWE operates. But we're gonna go into the rest of Monday Night Raw here tonight. Nothing too amazing, just warning you. Let you be forewarned, right? Nothing too amazing, but of course, before we do go on to talking about everything that happened on Raw here tonight, I just want to tell you guys to make sure to go check out all of the content on the Ringside Wrestling YouTube channel. And of course, the reason I tell you guys to make sure to go do that is because there is so much other content to go check out on the Ringside Wrestling YouTube channel. That includes Monday Night Raw reviews like you're watching right now, Smackdown live reviews, as you will be watching tomorrow. And if you're not, I don't know what's wrong with you. Make sure to go check out the Smackdown live review. We're going to continue talking about what's going on with Daniel Bryan, AJ Styles, Shinsuke Nakamura. You already know the deal. On Smackdown, things are looking exciting, and we will be discussing that tomorrow on, of course, your Smackdown live review. We have pay-per-view reviews whenever they do come. Of course, the next pay-per-view is the biggest one of the year, according to WWE. It is WrestleMania 34. Not going to lie to you, WrestleMania 34 card is looking good from the looks of it, but it's looking to be like a long-ass 7-8 hour show. And I am absolutely scared of that runtime, because anything for that long is absolutely terrible. But of course, we're going to be giving you like 7 to 8 hours of content that very week on the Ringside Wrestling YouTube channel. You got your Monday Night Raw and Smackdown reviews on Monday and Tuesday. That's just next week. This is next week. We're almost there. You got your preview and predictions for WrestleMania on Thursday. Preview and predictions for NXT TakeOver New Orleans on Friday. You got your NXT TakeOver review on Saturday, Behind the Mic, where we cover all the biggest news in the WWE, of course, right before WrestleMania, on Saturday as well, and your WrestleMania review on Sunday. That is just the basic gist of it. We're probably going to throw more content into that big juice, at least like 7 videos, that is, or 8, whatever the number is. You guys can count that, but of course, make sure to subscribe. No better time to subscribe to the Ringside Wrestling channel. If you haven't subscribed yet, I have no idea what you are waiting for. Everything regarding the WWE right here on Ringside Wrestling. So make sure to subscribe for all of that good stuff. Behind the Mic coming this Saturday as well. Make sure to like this video if you enjoy what you're hearing here. And of course, your opinion is just as important as mine. So make sure to comment what you thought about Monday Night Raw here tonight. Did you think it was trash? Did you like it? You're all entitled to your own opinion. I might not agree with it, but at the end of the day, I cannot tell you what to think. So make sure to tell me what you thought about Monday Night Raw in the comments section below. Do you want to offer me insight to maybe something that I missed and did not talk about on the Raw review? Make sure to leave it all in the comment section below, because for now we're going to go straight into talking about what happened on Monday Night Raw here tonight. And of course, the show started off with Brock Lesnar. And of course, he came out with Paul Heyman. They had some words to say. They were going off about how Roman Reigns wasn't here tonight on Monday Night Raw. And of course, this fits in perfectly into what WWE is trying to do, getting sympathy on Roman Reigns, because, of course, Roman Reigns came out and he said, well, I'm going to be in the main event of WrestleMania, and the main event of WrestleMania needs to be represented every week on Monday Night Raw, and I'll be here whether I'm promoted or booked or not. I'll be here each and every single week. And then, of course, you script the heels to come out and say, well, he's not here tonight. And then what happens? Roman Reigns comes out anyways. But, of course, WWE, despite this being a very predictable segment and something that they should have very easily been able to do, and it would have been easy, you would have been done with it. It would have been exciting for the casuals who are actually invested in this. And bada boom shakalaka, not much needs to be done this week. You're good. I'm good. We just get to WrestleMania and get the inevitable over with. But of course, WWE, they need to do what they always do. They need to sprinkle in their dose of the garbage and the bullshit. And of course, there were things to complain about this segment galore. One of those things being Roman Reigns, despite his suspension being lifted, still comes in through the crowd, walking slower than a goddamn sloth. What is the purpose behind that? Why not have his music hit and have him come out through the entranceway like everybody else? What is so special about Roman Reigns that he once again needs to walk out through the crowd? They're trying to position him as this rebel, badass, mercenary who, despite being pretty much like everybody else, he's unique, he's different, he's the Samoan badass, Roman Reigns. And you even had Paul Heyman put Roman Reigns over in that manner. I mean, for what reason? For what reason? Absolutely unnecessary crap. But I'm going to play the segment for you right here, if they even include the part where Paul Heyman does his promo, which I believe they do here. And of course, this leads to the brawl between Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns, where Roman Reigns is, quote-unquote, once again, just like last week, brutalized by Brock Lesnar. Here's the segment. Here's what Paul Heyman had to say. And then, of course, I will tell you what Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar did in the middle of that ring.
The temporary suspension of Roman Reigns has been lifted. Which means for everybody whose heart is pounding a little bit harder right now, saying, I know how this goes, Heyman's going to get interrupted because at any moment you're going to hear that music. Dun, 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 dun. And Roman Reigns is going to come out ready for a fight. Here's breaking news, item number 2.
And Heyman pretty much spoiled the segment when he said that. Because that's what happened. And listen to the crowd cheer when he says that.
Is it man enough to take the Universal title away from the reigning, defending, undisputed Universal Heavyweight Champion, Brock?
And that's when Roman Reigns walks out, right? Paul Heyman and Brock Lesnar act all surprised. And the commentators start playing up how Roman Reigns is still injured from last week, blah, 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 blah. So Roman Reigns, he takes a big clothesline from Lesnar, grabs a chair, shoves Lesnar into the post, retaliates with that chair, right? Tries to jump off the steel steps for a Superman punch. Nice spot here. Lesnar grabs Reigns from the Superman punch, straight into a belly-to-belly. Love that spot right there. Grabs the steel steps. Hits Roman Reigns hard with the steel steps. Smack in the middle of the face. Goes back into the ring. A couple German suplexes. Chair shots. Puts the steel steps in the middle of the ring. And I like the way this looked a lot. I loved actually the way this looks. Looked brutal. The F5 on the steel steps looked very, very good. Looked very, very good. But when you're in there, when you have two consummate professionals at what they do, Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar in the middle of the ring, you're going to be seeing some brutalizing stuff. It's going to look good. And that's exactly what it did. It looked good. But as far as WWE goes, clearly this is going to backfire on them. We've been saying it for weeks. And I would be shocked if it wasn't the case at WrestleMania, where you either have both Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns booed, and you have that Goldberg-Lesnar WrestleMania 20 situation all over again, because you have positioned Brock Lesnar as the anti-WWE guy, and nobody, and I mean nobody in New Orleans with that smart-ass crowd that you're going to have there is going to buy Roman Reigns winning the Universal Championship. Nobody's going to be happy about that. So, I mean, you're either going to have that, or you're going to have everybody cheering Lesnar, and it's going to backfire on Reigns. All I know is that come New Orleans, Reigns will not be cheered. Do not expect it for a second. And all I'm hoping is that WWE, I'm thinking that they will because it is WWE, but I'm just hoping you do not end WrestleMania 34 with that match, because there's going to be backlash. There is going to be backlash, and WWE, it would be in their smartest intentions to put that somewhere, of course, on the top of the card, but not somewhere where it's going to realistically bite you in the ass. That's all I'm hoping that WWE does. Keep the quality of the show good by not putting this last. That's all I'm asking for, because this matchup is not going to go over well if we do get the very, very predictable outcome of Roman Reigns winning the Universal Championship. Anyways, we move on here on Monday Night Raw. Still to come, Kane versus John Cena in a matchup that was announced as no DQ here tonight. Who cares? Ronda Rousey was going to be here. And we moved on to Nia Jax versus Mickie James. Who cares? We've seen this matchup a ton of times on Monday Night Raw. Mickie James loses to Nia Jax. No surprise there. The ending was actually pretty impressive. Nia gorilla pressed Mickie James, of course, above her arms, and turned that into the Samoan drop. That looked good. Nia still fitting into that babyface role where she has to dominate the offense when she's making a comeback, and this was a short matchup. This was one of those matchups which it begins, you go straight into commercial break, and when you come back, it's ending. That's what this match was, so clearly it was nothing amazing. So Nia, she had to toss Mickie around a couple times, didn't all look clean, and I'm telling you, Nia still needs to get used to that babyface role, because in this feud with Alexa Bliss, that's what she is. Do you really see Alexa Bliss getting that much offense over Nia at WrestleMania? What are you realistically expecting to see in that matchup? I do not expect that matchup to be anything of any note whatsoever. Anyways, after the matchup, Bliss immediately ran in and nailed Jax, but clearly Jax didn't do anything. It didn't do anything to Jax, and Alexa Bliss ran away. And the first time, I cringed so hard because they had the mic really loud on Nia, and you could hear everything she was saying. I'm not sure if she knew this or not, and if she was supposed to say this or not, but she was like, "I'm gonna get you, you little Bliss," and I cringed so hard. Oh my God, did she really just say, "I'm gonna get you, you little Bliss"? I wanted to throw myself out a window when I heard that line, and then she said once again, and I thought she was gonna say it again, but she says, "I'm gonna get you, you little," of course, the B word, "you little bitch." That's what she said the second time. So, how do you go from "I'm gonna get you, you little Bliss" to "I'm gonna get you, you little bitch"? And WWE completely failed, which I found particularly hilarious. They failed at censoring out Nia when she was saying bitch. They got like the last part of it, but you knew what she said. You heard crystal clear what Nia said, and I'm not sure whether or not she was supposed to say that. Maybe she wasn't. Maybe it slipped out her mouth. Maybe she didn't know that the mic was on her so heavily. Hopefully this was planned to maybe add more blood in the feud, make it so this is real heat between the two. It comes across as more realistic tension. I don't know, but I didn't care for it. Adding a curse word to a feud isn't going to make me in any way more invested. I know what the end result to this is. It is probably Nia picking up the strap, and I don't care for that result either way. I really don't see much advantage to Nia holding the Women's Championship, and I don't really care. So that's what I think of that. We see Triple H and Stephanie McMahon. There's a video package for them. Of course, hyping up the Ronda Rousey crap. I mean, this was alright. You had all this garbage being said about Ronda Rousey. I mean, what you would expect them to say in this video package to further the feud was said. The only thing here that I really found to further the feud was Stephanie McMahon and Triple H pretty much saying, they repeated what they said most of the time. It was a 4-minute video package, and they repeated at least like one thing twice. I'm not going to go into the specifics on that, but the only thing they really said was that the point of this is to pretty much put Ronda Rousey in the position that everybody else is in when this is all over with. The end goal of Triple H and Stephanie McMahon is to repackage Ronda Rousey and make Ronda Rousey a WWE player, how this all originally should have been. So I like how they added that presence to the feud, that if Triple H and Stephanie McMahon do win, that's what they plan to do when they get their way. That's the only thing I really found overwhelmingly cool about this, the only thing that really furthered any storyline. I mean, clearly this package had WWE production behind it. They were showing the training of Stephanie McMahon and Triple H, blah, 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 whatever. We move on here to Cedric Alexander, Mustafa Ali versus TJP and Drew Gulak. This just reminds me of why the Cruiserweight division was such a failure. I mean, you had this division showcased on Monday Night Raw each and every single week, and that's the only thing people really saw, because when you seen what you seen on Monday Night Raw, you didn't really want to go out of your way to watch 205 Live. And it's because of these 4-minute presentations, which really make the Cruiserweights look like nothing special. You're getting this type of action from Seth Rollins, from Finn Balor, from AJ Styles, from Sami Zayn each and every single week. They're flying off the top. They're doing all these moves that the Cruiserweights are supposed to be using as the gimmick of this division. We've seen that, and that's really the only part that WWE focuses on Monday Night Raw. That's why it was such a failure when they showcased it on Monday Night Raw each and every single week. When Triple H took over a couple weeks ago, or a month ago or so at this point, it was taken off of Monday Night Raw, and the only place to really see 205 Live was exactly that, 205 Live. So when you did go out of your way to see 205 Live, and you heard the rumors of Triple H taking over, and you saw what Triple H did to change 205 Live after hearing all these good reviews, you got invested. But once again, now especially that the tournament is over, you need to establish 205 Live, because you're no longer in this tournament aspect, because the tournament is bound to cause excitement. There's no doubt about that. When there's a tournament going on, things are more exciting, because a tournament is instant, alright, I know what's going on, storytelling. Every guy is fighting to get to the end of the tournament, right? Whether it's fighting for a championship or whatever it may be, it's clear, it's concise, it's easy, it's interesting. It is. So, you are at the end of that, and I like how WWE ended the rounds of the tournament earlier on, so you can actually have time for build. But that's only going to really help you on 205 Live. Showcasing these guys on Monday Night Raw pretty much for a time buffer isn't going to do anything for me. And the only thing I really want to talk about concerning these Cruiserweights is, we know that Cedric Alexander, Mustafa Ali won, but is this going to be on the main card? Because if this is on the main card, I love the finals that they went with. These two guys can put on an absolutely groundbreaking match on WrestleMania. I hope it doesn't go on the pre-show. This can be a great matchup to kick off WrestleMania, to get things flowing, and to showcase the Cruiserweight division in the way that it hasn't been showcased pretty much since its inception on the main roster. So hopefully that does open WrestleMania, because it would be a fantastic way to put this Cruiserweight division in the limelight, and that is something that it most necessarily needs. We move on to this segment with the Intercontinental Championship. The Miz and the Miz Taraj have their problems. I'm not going to play this segment for you just simply because I don't care. I can tell you what happened and you wouldn't be missing out on anything. Pretty much, The Miz went on the same rant that he always goes on. He's an A-lister. They were in Cleveland here tonight, so he says, I live in Hollywood now, and that's for a reason. I don't like Cleveland, blah, 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 blah. Clearly getting heat off the crowd. And then he goes on to target The Miz-Taraj. He says, well, this is the road to WrestleMania, and you guys aren't on the same level and on the same preparation that I am. I revitalized your careers. Now, I asked the same question to Monday Night Raw. Where the hell is Monday Night Raw and Smackdown Live when it comes to building towards WrestleMania? Besides things like the Ultimate Deletion and Daniel Bryan, which are clearly going to cause excitement, everything else is pretty much terrible. But that's another rant for another video. The Miz, he was going on about The Miz-Taraj, and Seth Rollins and Finn Balor come out, and they pretty much try to add fuel to that fire. They try to make it so The Miz-Taraj turns on The Miz. Miz says he's the greatest Intercontinental Champion of all time, and that's what they need to focus on. He's 34 days away from being the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion of all time. He's better than Shawn Michaels. He's better than Stone Cold. He's better than Razor Ramon. And he accidentally says he's better than Mr. Perfect. Now, who's the son of Mr. Perfect? Curtis Axel. So that's a direct jab to him. He says, Bo Dallas actually says something about The Miz being a whiny little fool or Scrooge or whatever the hell he says, right? And that gets the crowd to pop. It looks like The Miz-Taraj is about to attack The Miz. They have him pretty much cornered, and right behind him are Rollins and Balor laughing. So pretty much it was a trick. The Miz-Taraj goes after Balor and Rollins instead, leaves The Miz laughing in the middle of the ring. For some reason, they have Gallows and Anderson, of all people, come out. Gallows and Anderson fight off The Miz-Taraj, even though they have nothing to do with Finn Balor at this point in time. They're the ones who come out here, and pretty much Miz and Balor, Rollins and Balor attack Miz from there on. They clear him from the ring. It looks like they're going to attack each other. Miz comes back in. They clear him once again. And then it is Balor, I believe, who gets the upper hand on Rollins and pretty much takes him out with a forearm. So that's all we've seen there. Nothing too amazing in this segment. Again, continues to build on the Intercontinental Championship scene, but I could not care less because this is nothing we haven't seen before. All three guys attacking each other. All three guys in a segment of Miz TV. Only thing that changed here is that the Miz-Taraj was used as an aggressor, and as soon as they aggressed, they got taken out of the equation by Gallows and Anderson, who came out of nowhere. So what am I supposed to tell you about that? Not much. Not much at all. What do we have here? We move on to Asuka versus Jamie Frost. For one of the jobbers, WWE always gets the most ridiculous jobbers to face these people. Jamie Frost was actually okay. She looked like a complete clown, but as far as the promo that she cut, she says, Asuka says nobody's ready for her. Well, quite frankly, Asuka hasn't seen me in the ring. This is my first match, and for that reason, I don't think Asuka's ready for me. Well, she got destroyed. Asuka, she tried to hit her with a couple forearms. Asuka smiled in her face, kicked her in the head. 1, 2, 3 matches over. That's how you got to be presenting Asuka. Clearly, Jamie Frost should be no issue for Asuka going up against Charlotte. But the segment just ends. After that, the segment just ends. Michael Cole brings up, and I'm glad they brought this up because it was absolutely ridiculous. I'm glad they kayfabed it up a bit because it was absolutely ridiculous what Cole said. Corey Graves and whatchamacallit and Jonathan Coachman made fun of Michael Cole for what he said before the Ultimate Deletion. Cole brings up last week's tweet knocking the Ultimate Deletion before it began. Graves disses him and says Vanguard 1 has his eye on Cole. Graves goes over, steals from the match. Cole still seems skeptical of the match. We cut backstage to Matt Hardy, who says Bray Wyatt is no more. The evil stench of his tyrannic reign has been replaced by the sweet smell of Senor Benjamin's spring daisies. Matt says the Great War is finally over, but he must set his sights on WrestleMania. Now, Matt says he will honor the legacy of the great giant known as Andre by winning his battle royal. Matt goes on and says anyone who gets in the way will be deleted. He does delete, and Cole says that was obnoxious and tries to do a broken accent. Ridiculous stuff right there. But what can I tell you? Matt Hardy in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. I'm jumping out of my seat in excitement. 1 week he's the main event of Monday Night Raw, 3 weeks before WrestleMania. The next he's announcing he is pre-show trash. Bullshit. But what are you going to do? You already have 15 matches on the main card alone? Not everybody can get on the main card. And I wouldn't tell you that the woken Matt Hardy character has blasted off just yet. The Ultimate Deletion was pretty much the proving ground. I expect big things for Matt Hardy coming out of WrestleMania. If that is not the case, I will be thoroughly disappointed. Maybe things that he can do with Brother Nero coming out of the grandest stage of them all. That's what I'm expecting there. Hopefully, they execute on that. On to what I think was the best part of the show here tonight. Bayley and Sasha Banks. I'm going to play you this segment real quick, and I'm going to tell you what I think about this. Here we go. Bayley and Sasha Banks brawl backstage.
I got your text. Good. That's it?
Yeah. I just wanted to let you know that I'm entering the WrestleMania Women's Battle Royal. That's it.
So we're not going to talk about last week.
What's there to talk about? You know what you did.
Look, I am so sick of your passive-aggressive nonsense. If you have something to say to me, then just say it.
Oh, I thought you liked me being passive. I mean, that's the kind of friendship you want to have, right? The one where you get to do whatever you want because you know that I'm going to be right by your side going along with it.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Don't act like you don't know what I'm talking about. You love that I put you first. You love that I let you walk around and act like you are the legit boss.
You're right. I am the boss. And I do what I want for myself in my career, and I make no apologies for it. And you know what, truth be told, maybe you should do the same. So everyone around here doesn't think you're a loser.
Oh, okay, so we're talking the truth. Well, the truth is, you keep screwing me over because you know that you can't beat me.
I can't beat you. I'm a 4-time Raw Women's Champion.
How long did you keep it?
Ooh. So Bayley tries to walk away. Sasha attacks her from behind. And that leads to a big brawl. The women get separated. And what can I tell you? What we were looking at here damn sure does not look like a feud that is going to be encapsulated within this garbage women's battle royal. This looked, if you wanted to do this and go this way, which WWE damn well should have, this looked like your women's championship feud going into WrestleMania. Imagine how great that segment would have been with the stakes of a women's championship and a singles match between Sasha and Bayley for 25 minutes, reliving what they did in NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 3 years ago, or however the hell long it was at this point. I mean, that would have been amazing. That would have been absolutely amazing. But WWE does not decide to go with that. They decide to go with the much inferior Alexa Bliss and Nia Jax. I mean, how does that in any planet compare to what we just seen between Sasha and Bayley? It doesn't. It absolutely doesn't. This segment was great, and it's not going to be capitalized on. And for that very reason, I simply couldn't invest myself in what was going on. Because I know that I want to see it, and I know that I like what I'm seeing because I did. But it's not going anywhere. It's going into a garbage battle royal. And quite frankly, that is very, very, very disappointing. We go to Braun Strowman versus Sheamus. The Bar talks their usual trash before this matchup, and it is Braun Strowman versus Sheamus. Braun Strowman pretty much says, if you want to find out who my partner is, you have to beat me, Sheamus. And Sheamus, of course, failed to beat him, so Sheamus did not find out. The segment just ended after that. Nothing too amazing in this matchup. We go to the segment that WWE actually wanted to emphasize on. It was Ronda Rousey coming out on Monday Night Raw here tonight. And this was not anything to go crazy about. It was Ronda Rousey being confronted by Absolution. More like absolutely god-awful, because that's what Absolution is. But I'll play you the segment here tonight of Ronda Rousey confronting and taking out Absolution here tonight on Monday Night Raw.
I know that WrestleMania is the most intimidating stage for anyone to compete on for the very first time. But after watching you train for the past few weeks, your hard work and determination, you're ready. You're ready for WrestleMania.
I'm not sure about that from what Ronda
after
did.
hearing what Triple H and Stephanie said earlier, they write the rules and they make the rules. I can tell you this, they mean it. They're going to be prepared for everything. So WrestleMania is going to be a lot of fun, but it's not going to be easy.
Good. So I didn't come here looking for easy. I came here to earn everything that I get. And Steph, she can talk tough, but she's trust fund tough. She's limousine tough.
Whatever the hell
And
that
as
means.
you just saw, she's personal trainer tough.
Limousine tough. Personal trainer tough and trust fund tough. That makes sense.
Everything that she deserves, which is me ripping her arm out of its socket.
You know, the one thing that will sabotage you in the WWE is not having friends. Now, I get it. You grew up watching the WWE, and that's great. That's great. But the thing is about Raw is that you get lost in the shuffle, and people here will definitely take advantage of you, Ronda. And we're just here, you know, in case you need some backup. What do you say?
I mean, I really appreciate the offer and thank you, but I've got an Olympic gold medalist watching my 6 o'clock. I mean, I'm good.
Ronda, baby girl, I get it, I understand. But if you think Kurt Angle has your back, then you wouldn't be an enemy to Triple H and Stephanie McMahon. But you don't have to go at this alone, Ronda. You, most importantly, could become the 4th member of Absolution.
What an honor that is.
But no.
I mean, I understand you just made your choice, Ronda. Unfortunately, it's not a good one. So you could have had some best friend in us, baby girl, but unfortunately, you just made some worst enemies.
Oh, what a threat.
Oh, no.
What a threat.
And Rousey's
So
not
Sonya
backing
and
down.
Mandy get ready to attack her.
Oh, and DeVille.
She gets clotheslined down to Sonya.
Angle tried to put
Mandy tries to go for whatchamacallit, for Ronda. She gets sloppily thrown onto DeVille. You can clearly see from the few moves that Ronda has done. She's still very green. I hate this like ninja type thing that she has going on where somebody tries to hit her and she like blocks it, or she grabs their foot. I hate that so dearly, how she takes that pause and just looks at them. I do not like the way they're presenting her in the ring whatsoever. She needs to look like a WWE styled athlete when she's in there. She does not look like that whatsoever. Nothing that she does for a legitimate fighter looks legitimate whatsoever. I don't like it at all so far. It does not look good. The only thing that did look good was when Mandy Rose did come at Ronda, and Ronda flipped her over and put her in an armbar. That looked good. That looked good. But as far as Mandy trying to kick Ronda and Ronda catching the foot and just like looking at her for a second, or Kurt when Mandy tried to punch Ronda, Kurt grabbing her hand and like just staying there, and then Ronda like grabbing Sonya's hand and staying there, like it's not fluid. It is not fluid whatsoever. Same thing with with Dana Brooke last week in that dark segment. Ronda like grabbed her hand and did some type of like ninja looking for him. It was weird. It doesn't look real. It doesn't look real, does the offense of Ronda Rousey. I don't know. Hopefully it doesn't look like that at WrestleMania when she's in an actual match. But right now it looks very green. Doesn't look good, in my opinion, does what Ronda Rousey is doing. But as far as the segment goes, I mean, I didn't really have an opinion on it. Ronda, she's okay on the mic. She could still use some representation, clearly, after WrestleMania. I would love for her to go heel and have Paul Heyman as her manager, but I don't know if WWE is going to go that route. I really don't think she needs to be talking. She's intimidating. She's got an intimidating stare, and I think her coming out like Brock Lesnar, hopping around, smiling, having Paul do the talking and her do the beating, I think that's the best case scenario for Ronda Rousey. But we move on here. Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson versus The Miz Taraj. Try to catch me caring. I do not. Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson win. Rhino versus Elias. Elias clearly had a concert, trashed on Cleveland, made fun of the Browns, blah, 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 blah. Try to ask me if I care. The answer would be no. Rhino versus Elias. Elias pins Rhino and gets the victory afterwards. He hits Heath Slater. Maybe they're actually prepping him to be the one to team with Braun Strowman. Everybody keeps saying that's too predictable, but it makes sense. Why would you want to have Elias miss WrestleMania? I'm absolutely fine with it being Elias and Braun Strowman. I mean, it would make sense since they were feuding, having the odd couple of Strowman and Elias team together. Whatever. We go to this, which was absolutely terrible. Kane versus John Cena. I did not enjoy this match whatsoever. We've seen this literally 50 other times throughout WWE history. It's nothing new whatsoever, and if you were excited about this, you must be 12. You must be 12. Some things happened in this matchup, I guess. They brawled into the crowd. There was a fallen barricade, and John Cena got suplexed by Kane into it. John Cena did a sit-up and a choke slam to Kane. Absolutely terrible choke slam, might I add. Cena went into a table since there was no DQ. But the end of the match had Kane take an attitude adjustment and get AA'd by John Cena through a table. The amount of exhilaration and excitement in my voice just goes to show you how excited I was watching this matchup. That would be not at all. This matchup was abysmal. You call this a main event to Monday Night Raw? You call this a main event to a house show? You call this a main event to WWE main event? I don't. This is barely a matchup I want to see in front of 20 people on a random indie show in South Carolina, of all places. I don't know. I don't care. This was garbage. Afterwards, you had John Cena take the mic. He riled up the crowd, and the only reason the crowd was responding, if you ask me, was because they wanted to see The Undertaker come out. They thought The Undertaker was going to come out. And it would have been the perfect time to do it. End of the show, at Monday Night Raw, 2 weeks before WrestleMania. Undertaker comes out. Oh my God, I'm excited. Things happened. Oh my God, I went to Raw. Nope. No Undertaker. Cena said you have 1 week left. I'm not even going to play the segment because you heard the segment last week on Monday Night Raw. The week before on Monday Night Raw. What's the point? He said the same crap. He called Taker a coward. He said, "You're not a man. You're letting everybody down." We heard it already. What the hell? So why does WWE refuse to have The Undertaker come out? I'm under the firm belief that we're going to see Undertaker appear at WrestleMania. At WrestleMania. We're not going to have Undertaker appear until WrestleMania. And with John Cena cutting the same formulaic promo, I'm not so sure I'm down with that. I want to see The Undertaker. I think we should have seen The Undertaker 3 weeks ago. At this point, we got a matchup with Kane. So, excuse me if I'm a little impatient. Anyways, that's what we seen on Monday Night Raw here tonight. I'm going to end it there. Absolutely abysmal stuff from whatchamacallit, from Monday Night Raw here tonight. I cannot believe this is the quality of television. Then again, this is what we've been getting for the past 4 years. So what are you going to do about it? This Monday Night Raw review, even though I'm finishing it at 12:30 in the morning, I believe it will be up tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock. Because, of course, we have a terrible internet here in the Ringside Wrestling household. Because of Time Warner Cable, we used to have Verizon. Things used to be done efficiently, but this review isn't being done early. So, pretty much, I'm not going to be up until 2 in the morning doing thumbnails for this review. I will upload this tomorrow morning, and Monday Night Raw will get done when it needs to get done. Because, of course, this show was terrible, and I have no enthusiasm to do anything towards it. So, that's going to be all right here on Ringside Wrestling Entertainment for now. Make sure to like this video if you enjoyed what you heard here. I'm sure you did. Everything that had to do with Monday Night Raw tonight, I think I covered pretty well. Make sure to subscribe to the Ringside Wrestling channel for everything having to do with WWE on a weekly content basis. So make sure to do that. Make sure to like. Make sure to comment. Because for now, this is going to be all right here on Ringside Wrestling. This has been your Monday Night Raw review for the date of March 27th. 26th. It's 27th now. 26th, 2018. This has been Joel Perez, and I am out of here. Thank you very much for watching this video. I will see you next time right here on Ringside Wrestling.